Okay, welcome back to the Crypto Factor. Welcome back to your favorite cryptopreneurship show. My name is Paul, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about the Bitcoin markets. I will be answering your questions in the chat, but we are also going to be talking about crypto banters or Rand's view on shorting Bitcoin and longing oil. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be challenging that because I think pretty much it's going to be the opposite. I'm going to explain why in this video, in this live stream. Now, before I start, I want to make something absolutely clear because a lot of people love the drama, love this sort of, how can I put this? Drama. I think drama is the right word. This is not an attack on Rand. This is not an attack on Crypto Banter. This is not saying he is in any way, shape, or form not good at what he does. As a matter of fact, I respect Rand. I respect Crypto Banter. I've actually learned a lot from his channel. I just don't subscribe to his views most of the time when it comes to technical analysis, but that does not mean he's not good at what he does. He's a macro guy, he's a fundamentals guy, and he's actually very good at it. And I actually watch his channel to learn. Even though I don't trade that way, I do watch his channel to learn, and you have to understand that I have the utmost respect for him. So with that said, let's go straight and show you the video that he made. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna give you the key points of it, and then tell you what I agree with, what I do not agree with, show you the charts so you will do or know what to do on your own judgment, if that makes sense, okay? Now, if I'm a bit, how can I put this also? I can't really articulate myself today because I'm on a sardine diet, so my girlfriend's already mad at me, okay? She's already mad at me because I smell like sardines. Because I'm eating only sardines for the next couple of days. I'm gonna tell you how it goes. But, yeah, so anyway, I don't even know why I said that. Let's just get straight to the video that Rand made. Give me a second here. So if you go to Crypto Banter's channel, and I suggest you check out his channel, I'm going to be referring to this video right here, okay? This video right here that says I'm selling Bitcoin and buying oil right now. Here's why. This is his video, okay? And I actually made a response video to this right here. No, I'm not selling Bitcoin, challenging Crypto Banter. And yes, I made the thumbnail ironically like his thumbnail on purpose, okay? So if you want to watch my full analysis, because I don't want to get into everything in a live stream. It's going to be very, very long, extremely long, and I want to get to answering your questions in the chat and talking about altcoins and other stuff as well. But if you want to watch the full breakdown, you can check it out on my channel. I'll leave it in the description down below. But a couple of things I'm going to be saying and challenging in this live stream is, number one, he says the only trade is to short risk and long oil. And combined with that, he's doubling down on his Bitcoin short before the range breaks. And that's the problem I'm having here real quick. That's the biggest problem I'm having here. And also his views, his fundamental views, which I talk about in the video I just showed you if you want to learn more. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into the TA and show you my views and why I believe he's wrong. Because I'm going to show you why how he's wrong technically, if that makes sense, okay? So this is the factor line. I have some analysis over here. Let me just delete all this so we can see a clean view. So this is the factor line, and this is the Bitcoin price right now. Now, Crypto Banter or Rand is saying to short Bitcoin here. Actually, he was telling you to short Bitcoin over here. Bitcoin actually went up since then, but he's telling you to short Bitcoin right now, all right? And here is what my view is. This is my view right now. If we look at the charts, first of all, the factor line just turned gold. If you don't know what the factor line is, this is my own indicator I use built for me in my trading style. You can check it out in other videos or in the links in the description down below. But anyway, regardless, on the daily, the factor line just turned gold. As a matter of fact, told you to buy right here for a swing trade at 66K, and is telling you to buy at around 70K psychological. It told you to buy. Basically, it's doubling down. Your stop loss goes below this point over here or below the SFP point over here, depending on your trading style. We're not going to talk about this today. All right? But essentially, what you are looking at, long-term Bitcoin right here, we were red. Let me do that again. Give me a second. We came down over here. We came all the way down. And what you are seeing is a W pattern. But it's confirming through the factor line. See that yellow line? It's confirming. So we have a W pattern. And as a matter of fact, we broke this resistance line over here. And if you want to take the top of the wick, if you're more conservative, we broke this resistance line over here and actually made it support. And this is why I think Crypto Banter is wrong, because I don't think he's looking at this chart. I know what he's looking at, but I don't think he's seeing this. And I think he's being biased or is being skewed through headlines and fundamentals or macros, and he's not looking at his analysis, his TA, or he's looking at it based on what he thinks is going to happen because of the news, because of the 4-year cycle, and so on. I'm going to talk about that as well, because I believe you're going to miss a massive move here. And I'm not saying we're going into a bull market. Bear with me. Let me explain, okay? So since Bitcoin came up and all the indications here, including the trend stacker over here, which is volume, momentum, a couple of other factors, is showing you that it's in the gold. We broke this resistance, made this support, and all we need to do to confirm this rally, in my opinion, is to break this top over here that Bitcoin formed after it broke out. This is what we need to do. If we do that, chances are we will come into the previous range, make that support, and then trade within this range over here for a while. And that can actually lead to significant upside all the way to the mid-range of 93,000, or even, dare I say, 102 to 107,000 over here to give us a long-term massive heads and shoulders that we were expecting that we did not get, okay? We may be getting it now. Now, let me delete all this again because I want to show you clean charts so you can understand the views. So what we're waiting for is for us to come here, make this previous range support, and start coming up. Until this rejects, there's no reason for you to get out. Now, you might be saying, Paul, okay, but we didn't get up here. We actually formed a high over here and we're going down. Yes, but this is not confirmed yet. We're still above what I showed you earlier over here. So if we come down, let me show you when Ran would most likely be right. If we came down from here, we actually did curve over, came under this point over here, which let's call it 74,000 psychological, made it resistance, and kept coming down, then yes, the likelihood of a continuation to the downside to the SFP level over here at 65K may be more likely, okay? And if, of course, if that broke, then yes, we could be looking at the break of the lows over here at 60K psychological and a run down to 40, 50K, all right? Which would be expected if these levels break. Now, you might be saying, Paul, okay, but why are you disagreeing with Ran if we have not made confirmation on the upside or the downside? Well, it's very simple. Ran said he's doubling down on his shorting Bitcoin position. This is wrong. This is wrong because 74K is not just the level that I just showed you. 74K is actually where structure broke for the bear market. Bitcoin entered a bear market where structure broke, and structure broke at $74,000. So that 74K level, $70,000 psychological resistance, range is extremely important. And is key to all analysis. So let me show you what I mean. Let me delete all these again. And let me zoom in here. Okay? Now, if we extend, all right, this is 75K, but if you look at this range over here, this was actually 74K. If we exchange this line here, which is 73,000, I can't get it. Anyway, 73,000 and some change. If we extend that, always go to the closest psychological number, which is 74K, all right? If we exchange that, that's 74K. If you notice, Bitcoin came down and bounced off this and then went up for a rally, okay? When we came back down over here to $80,000 psychological, yes, we came back up, but this was not a bear market because this was actually a higher low. Structure was intact. And you can have 30, 40, 50% corrections even in bull markets. So as long as we stayed here, and so on, we're still potentially in a bull market. Once we came down and broke 80K psychological, then we said that 74K will likely break, and we anticipated the bear market. But until 74K broke, Bitcoin was not in the bear market. And then we said we're probably going to trade sideways here, which we did. We actually bought the bounce at 60K. We bought it at $62,000. And we said we're going to be trading sideways here for a while, which we have. And then we just got this break over here. So essentially, we are in a no trade zone at best. You're not doubling down on a short. You're not doing anything, and you're especially not doing it without giving people stop losses and where they're wrong, where this gets rejected, where this is false. And that's why I think Ram is wrong. His trade is wrong in the sense that it's too aggressive. Yes, there is a case for making a short at $80,000. That's fine. But the doubling down, that's false, and not putting a stop loss above 80K resistance is also false, in my opinion, and in any pro-TA opinion, as a matter of fact, in my opinion, right? So, for me, we're in a range, and if you are longing like me, you're staying in till one of these stop loss levels I mentioned earlier hit, but you're staying in right now. Because even if this is a bear market rally, bear market rallies can be quite significant. They can go up 20, 30, 40, 50%. You don't want to, even 70. You don't want to miss out on that. And not only that, you don't know if this is going to continue into a bull market. Now you might be saying, Paul, what are you talking about? How can this be in a bull market? We're in a bear market. It's the 4-year cycle. And I follow the 4-year cycle. But you can have bull markets within bear markets. That's where most people in crypto get confused. You can have a bull market within a longer time frame bear market. And that bull market rally can very well become a bull market. And I've been saying that we may have either a shorter bear market, when everybody was talking about a super cycle, extended cycle, business cycle, whatever fashionable name they named it at the time, and saying we're not going to drop. I was calling for the 2025 top or beginning 2026 top, right? I was saying that we're not going to have an extended cycle. We're going to go by the 4-year cycle, but we may have a shorter bull market. Or we're going to go into a recession or depression, one of the two. And this is something I've been saying last year, even the year before, for this very cycle. All right, and I explained why in other videos. So right now, you are in Bitcoin. Yes, you're not getting into shit coins or high risk coins. You might be getting into some strong alts. We'll talk about that in a second if you want. But when it comes to Bitcoin, you're in. On a fundamental case, you're in Bitcoin as well. Why? Because Bitcoin, he has some arguments, I explained in the video, he has some arguments that Bitcoin is high risk. No, Bitcoin is high risk, but it can also act as a hedge. It can also act like gold. It can also take different forms over time, and that's how a lot of people get wrecked. So you're not selling Bitcoin here, and if you are, you have a stop loss, and you're certainly not doubling down. That's where I disagree with Ran in most part. With his oil prediction, I'm not even going to challenge that because Ran has a lot more experience than me when it comes to oil, when it comes to macros, when it comes to the stock market, okay? He has a lot more experience than me. So I'm not challenging that part. I am a contrarian. When everybody's longing something, I usually take the opposite direction. So I'm not shorting oil. I'm not longing oil either, though, if that makes sense, right? So in my opinion, I still think Bitcoin can go up. So far, my prediction played out from the video I made. We don't know yet what's going to happen. That's why I'm saying watch the range, very important. And when it comes to oil, I'm not taking the trade, but I wouldn't be surprised if oil actually goes down while Bitcoin goes up. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds insane. But I'm just saying, right? So that's what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. Now, as for altcoins over here, this is the daily. You see some up, you see some down. If you go to the weekly, a lot are up, a lot are down. These are our altcoin picks, okay? Meme coins, there's a few that are up as well. But these are all our picks over here. The ones we mostly look into. Some of our favorites are down a lot. And you can see that there are certain coins that are doing well. Certain coins are not doing so well. And the reason, and what I've been saying, rather, is that altcoins are waiting for permission from Bitcoin. We're seeing some indications of altcoins wanting to run, but they're waiting for Bitcoin, or they're wanting to dump more and they're waiting for Bitcoin. So basically, you are charting Bitcoin, that's it. And this is something I've been saying in other videos. When you chart crypto, all right, you don't want to chart altcoins at tops and bottoms of markets or tops and bottoms of markets. You want to chart altcoins individually in between. When you try to call the top or get close to the top and bottom, you want to be charting Bitcoin because altcoins are mostly going to follow Bitcoin. When Bitcoin bounces and has a continuation, that's when altcoins are really going to go. When Bitcoin gets a top and goes down, altcoins soon after go down. Bitcoin is usually the first to move in both cases. So too many people are charting altcoins at the wrong time of the market. Don't bother charting altcoins, in my opinion. Chart Bitcoin. Charting altcoins comes later when you chart them against Bitcoin. And you see if they're if it's worth holding them over Bitcoin and so on, if that makes sense. Okay, that's how we called the mini alt seasons as well. When it was in the mid of the cycle, when we were charting Bitcoin versus Solana, not Ethereum, because we had that anticipation and we said that we're going to be charting Solana because of all the meme coins and so on. That's how we called all the mini alt seasons, right? And when we saw the not too big breakouts against Bitcoin, we were calling for mini alt seasons, not full-blown alt seasons, except one towards the end, which we never actually got, so we got that one wrong, but we got all the mini alt seasons right. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. If you're new to this channel, you probably don't, because you haven't seen my other videos. Check them out, watch the channel, see how I do. Maybe you want to follow us, just saying. All right, now, so that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin, and that's what we're looking for altcoins. I still believe that altcoins, when it comes to altcoins so far, we're looking at perpetual dexes. We're looking at X402 coins, and you can search my channel for those, which ones I believe are going to do well, and a couple of more coins for altcoins to run as a narrative towards the end of this market, a bear market, towards the end of this bear market, once we get into the other cycle. All right? I'm never going to have sardines before I do live streams again. I'm just thirsty. So with that said, by the way, I am drinking sparkling water. Yeah, I see Chuck with his mushroom coffee, which I'm jealous, and cocoa, which I've never tried, which I want to try. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin and alts. That's what I disagree with Ram, and I do want to tell you again, if you're just joining, check out Rand's channel. Check out this video right here, oil, Bitcoin. I'm selling Bitcoin and buying oil right now. Check this video out by Rand. It's actually a pretty good video. I understand his thesis. I learned a few things as well, which I do think that you should also watch this. But I am challenging him in this video with the same thumbnail, or kind of same thumbnail. All right, look, in this video, I actually disagree with him and why I'm not doing what he's doing. This was 2 days ago, as you can see. So far, my video is playing out, or at least you could see why it would play out and why you would follow my advice on the range. And it also goes to specific range prices and what to look out for and what to expect. So that video is more detailed. I recommend you watching it in the description in the description down below. Okay. By the way, again, let's have a look at some of your questions in the chat if we have any. I'm not going to make this too long, this live stream too long. I'm going to go watch Michael with my girlfriend right after this. All right, so promised her we're going to go watch that at the movies, and I got the ticket, so I'm just going to answer as many questions as I can real quick. Edward says must watch, thank you. All right, so Felix is saying oil is going back to $50 soon. I don't know why anybody would buy oil that's bearish. Look, again, I don't want to challenge Ran on oil. I'm a contrarian by nature, but I don't want to challenge him on oil because I'm not as experienced when it comes to these type of investments as Ran is. Okay, so I'm not challenging him on that. I'm challenging him on the Bitcoin point of view, okay? So I just want to make that clear. Felix also says the RSI and the MACD weekly and monthly on Bitcoin are flipping bullish. Yeah, and so is the factor line. By the way, check out the factor line, is right here. It comes with my course, Invest, Trade, and Think Like the Crypto Factor. This shows you exactly where to buy and sell with most probabilities, and also teaches you how to think like me, trade like me, and invest like me. So check that out. Comes with a free indicator. It's the only place you can get the indicator. Check it out, see if it's for you. All right, let's see what else we have. The bull market will continue until 2028. Look, we're not in a bull market. Well, technically we are in a bull market within a bear market. We were in a bear market as long as we were under $74,000, we were in a bear market, okay? So now we're waiting. Now we just got above. Let's see if that confirms. We need a couple of weeks, to be quite honest, to see, because we're looking for this as a long-term thing. So we still have time, but so far, right now, as we speak, we're in a bull market rally, which may confirm into a bull market. But don't be surprised if we come up, reject, and come back down, and we actually dump further, because bear market rallies look like bull markets, right? So we can always go down lower. And 2026, conventionally, if you go by the 4-year cycle, 2026 would be a bear market, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm just saying, what my view is show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. So even though I look at timing, which is the 4-year cycle, and I put that to probabilities for when I make calls or when I trade, I always, price is over everything. Price over everything. So if the chart is bullish, we stay bullish until proven otherwise, right? That is key, okay? That is important. That way you also learn how to use charts, and you, as long as you keep what's the word I'm looking for? Strict. We keep that. I can't think of another word. I can't articulate myself very well today. As long as we keep that strict, we stay strict on our views when it comes to technical analysis, when it comes to the charts, that's what we're supposed to do. When are you personally going to start buying alts? Well, I already bought at 60K. When we went down to 60K on the bounce, I bought Bitcoin at 62K. I bought some more hype. We got into Tau, if you remember, on the Tau dump. I'm already buying select alts, but I'm being very careful with what I'm doing, and most of them are converted, either from profits I took or from other altcoins to lower my exposure on higher risk altcoins and getting into these ones, okay? That's all in my group, by the way. I write in my group exactly what I do. Yes, it's a paid group. Yes, I have to have a product. Yes, I live off crypto. It's in the description down below. But I try to make videos. If you watch all my videos, you'll get most of the information for free anyway. So I'm not telling you have to sign up. Don't sign up. If you don't have money, don't sign up yet. Watch my videos, make money, then consider it later. But check out the I already made the calls. I mean, you can go back and watch my live streams and videos, and you'll see that I actually gave you the calls. Can I please look at Toshi? Why would I look at Toshi now? Let's have a look at Toshi. Why would you look at Toshi? It's shit. It's dead. I don't know why you're looking at it. Look, Toshi. This is stupid. You don't buy this, especially now. You don't buy coins like this in bear markets. I know it looks low, but you don't want to get into this. I don't even know what this is, by the way. Until it breaks over zero. You don't want to buy this until it breaks over. You don't even want to look at this until it breaks over 0.000176. Let's call it 0.0002 psychological. You don't want to even look at this. You don't, right? And look, one effective, Toshi, it's a meme coin. You don't want to be looking at meme coins right now unless it's Doge or established meme coin. And even then, you want to be extremely careful with that. Terry says, yes, Paul, does your indicator work for network for all? Yes, it does. It works for anything that's on TradingView. Check it out. It's a really, really strong indicator. I'm not saying it because it's mine. I'm just saying it's made for crypto specifically. It can work for other areas as well, but it's made for crypto specifically, and it's made for swing trading mostly and investing. You can use it for day trading, but it's mostly a swing trading and investing tool for crypto specifically. Any coin, any token that's available on TradingView. Franny says, want to buy more Bitcoin, got some at 62. Nice, 67, perfect. Well done. Those are the levels I was telling you to buy, 62K, 67K. Perfect, very well done. I don't want to chase it up. Do you think Bitcoin will go back to the low of sixes? It doesn't matter what I think. Show me the charts, and I'll tell you the news, or at the very least, price over everything. You bought it, so let me tell you what you would do specifically for you, okay? For you specifically. If you bought at 62,067, your average is 64-ish, okay? So if you want to play safe, you take profits under 70K. 70K, if that becomes resistance, it comes down, becomes resistance, and goes down. Let me show you exactly what I mean, okay? Because it's important. Because a lot of people don't understand this. All right, I'm going to show you a simple way to do this. Give me a second, right? Let's see, sketch. Let me use my sketch pad over here. A pen, not the military pen, that will break my sketch pad. Okay. All right, let me show you real quick. Let me open this up here. All right, let me just delete the previous thing I did for whatever I did. Sorry, give me a second here. All right, so you bought at 62K, hopefully from my videos like I was saying, and 67K, all right? So the price went up, boom, made the support, and then came up and broke above 70,000, okay? Made that support and is now continuing to the upside. If the price comes down under 70K psychological, okay? Let's say it comes under 70K and makes 70K resistance and comes down and breaks that low. That's your exit with profits. Okay, depending on your trading style, I'm just giving you a few options here, okay? I would probably stay in, but regardless, that's for profits. If you want to break even, you take your average that you got in, whatever that is, I think it's 64 something, I'm not sure, whatever. You take your average, and then what you do is you wait. If that bounces, great, you're staying in, but if it's weak, you get out of anticipation of a break, and you take and you get out here, okay? This is your break-even point. And if you got in long-term 62K and you're like, look, I'm going to put 1/3 of my capital like I did, all right, percentage-wise, at 62K, and another 1/3, let's say at 54K, all right, another 1/3 if we go down to, let's say 38,200, which is my call to 42,000 if we break those lines, if we break certain areas I explained in other videos, then what you're doing is you're holding and you're either executing for damage control under 60K for a potential buy at 54 or at 42, or you're not doing that and you're just buying here and here, and that's it, and then you just wait, right? So it's different ways you could play this. But generally speaking, that's your easy mode, so to speak, or what your levels are and what you're looking at, all right? Now, so that's basically what you're doing. In a nutshell, of course, there are different things you can look at, volume, momentum. Watch the channel, I'll tell you what I'm doing at any particular time, depending on the charts, because charts change, things change, you understand this. I'm just giving you an example of how you would play it since you got in at those levels, what I would personally do, right? We put that back there. Let's see if we have any questions. You don't have to be nice to Rand. He has been wrong a lot. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter if you're wrong or not. It's a matter if you know what you're talking about or not. And Rand, in the big part, knows what he's talking about. I'm not being nice to him because I'm kissing his ass. I know what he's good at and what he's not good at. And I've said he's not the best charting guy in the world, but he does know his macros and fundamentals, and I've learned a lot from him. I'm not being nice to him. I've called out Crypto Wendy-O many times on my channel saying that she doesn't know what she's talking about and she's getting people wrecked because she keeps on talking about news and talks about the news falsely. And I've proven that many times. You can go to my videos. I made videos or references to it and posts about that. I'm not saying she doesn't know about crypto. I'm not saying she's bad at what she does, but she uses news to get views, which I get, but she translates or interprets the news wrong. And I think that's bad. And I've said this many times. There's other people. Ivan on Tech. I don't like his technical analysis, but he's very good at what he does. I've learned a lot from Ivan on Tech, especially when it comes to tech, especially when it comes to certain things. He's probably one of the best guys out there to follow on YouTube, in my opinion, right? And then you have the guys that are really good at TA. The guys that are really good at TA is the chart guys. It's Sam Price, Crypto Lifer. He's very good, especially in day trading. He's strong in day trading. So is Chart Guys. They're both good in day trading, right? MM Crypto is very good swing trader, right? You have to take each person in what they do, what they're good at, right? And what they use. What's his name? Alessio Rastani, probably the best TA guy out there. He uses Elliott wave theory. The chart guys doesn't. They use something else. The way I trade, I do swing trading. I use the factor line. I play breakouts and ranges. I play snap and cracks and ranges. Each person has their tools that they use and what they're good at, right? So everyone has their strong points. Everyone has their weak points. Now, there's some people out there that only have weak points. It's a whole different story, okay? There's some shit influencers and KOLs out there. I don't want to get too tough. I don't want to get too savage in this video. I've been savage in many videos, right? Because I like saying it how it is. I like being real, and I like calling shit out, and I like being the person I am. I really like challenging people, and when I see too much shit, I call it out. Okay, but Ran has been. Maybe he needs to be a little bit more. But at the same time, I understand why he does it, because you want to have a certain authority, certain direction to get the views. You don't want to be too liberal with your views. Oh, we could do this, or we could do that. That doesn't get the wins, right? So I understand why he does it. And again, I think he knows this as well because he's got traders on his channel that are better traders than him when it comes to technical analysis. I don't think he's claiming to be like the massive TA guy. But when it comes to interviews, when it comes to the channel, when it comes to all the audience, when it comes to participation, when it comes to talking macros, fundamentals, I don't think there's anyone better. I really don't. Sui Solana, which one? I hate that question because A, it's too soon to tell. B, they're both very good to be able to hold at some point. But C, I've been telling you when to buy and when not to buy, and this just tells me you haven't really been listening. You're not making calls like this right now. You're just not. And if you are, you're getting both, and you have to have special stop loss. You have to know when to put the stop loss, when to exit. And me giving you a call right now like that, and people say, "Oh, Paul, the crypto factor said this." This is how people like get wrecked, and they think you're shit at your job after. Or sorry, not your job. This is not my job, but you're shit at what you do after. Because if I answer and one of them goes down, you'll be like, "Oh, the crypto factor." No, you shouldn't buy either right now. If you're holding and you bought when I told you, and you bought at the lows, sure, you could be holding it, and you took profits when I told you to take profits, and you're holding your bags. But making a choice right now, why would you even ask that? No one knows. I mean, Solana could do very well. I don't think it's going anywhere. And Sui could actually be one of the next narrative coins in the next bull market. But it's too early to know right now. It's just too early. I've got buy orders on ETH at 1,200 and Bitcoin at 55K. Okay? Thanks, Maga. Yeah, I'm going to look at your course. And you're very welcome, man. Very welcome. Check it out. I can honestly say that it's one of the best. It is the best product I ever put out in my life. Like, I'm totally behind it. I don't want to push it too much because it sounds like, obviously, I'm biased here. But everybody that bought it, no one's regretted it. It's actually very, very good. If Bitcoin goes to the low 38K, how low? No one knows. And I know that's not the answer you want to hear. Probably they will go down from their top about 90-95% in that case. From the top, though. Trains, it's better to watch paint dry than these YouTubers using each other for clickbait. No guidance need for crypto. Let's make fake beefs. All right, first of all, let me make some beef with you. You're a moron. Let me tell, and I'm being cute here, okay? Okay, let me tell you. So, first of all, there's no fucking beef with me or Ran. I literally said that in the beginning of the live stream. I made it abundantly clear with a comment at the top that's pinned. I put it in the description, and even in the video I created, I made it abundantly clear, absolutely clear, that it's not a beef. It's just a disagreement with his TA and his move. And if you don't understand that, that's probably why you're commenting. You either don't understand that, which is probably, I mean, what can I say? TikTok brain? I don't know. Like, you have a problem here. I mean, I said it throughout this live stream as well. Or you missed it, and you just assumed that I'm doing something, which just means you can't even research a video or understand it, let alone do your own research, which is probably why you're wrecked, poor, or you will be. All right? So, since you're new on this channel, just so you know, I am a no BS type of guy. I say shit as they are. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and that's why I lose a lot of subscribers, because I call people out like you right now. You have a short attention span. You don't understand what you're even commenting, let alone this video, which is probably why you're going to stay poor or become poor, or at the very least not get your absolute potential, which is a shame. Because you might be a really smart guy, but you've been influenced from all these videos and everything on crypto, and now you don't even watch the video, you just comment like a moron. It's a shame, it really is, because you might be a smart guy, you might be really cool, but you're just fucking up. And this is the proof. This is not a fake beef. I've called out people in real beefs before on my channel. And I've also said when something's not a real beef, which is what I did in this video. But if you can't pay it, look, I can explain things to you, I can't understand them for you, believe what you want to believe. S&P 500 versus Bitcoin. Harry, Great question, but I'm not an S&P 500 guy, right? I could do your technical analysis on it, but I'm going to stay away from it on giving you my opinion. Why am I going to stay away from giving you my opinion? Because it's not my strong point. S&P 500 is not my strong point. Yes, I can do technical analysis on it, but I don't do technical analysis on it because I'm not trading it right now. I'm trading specific stocks. And I know what I'm good at, what I'm not so good at, so I don't want to make that call. I'm protecting you here, right? By the way, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy, average guy on YouTube that made a shitload of money trading crypto. Yo, Paul, have you heard about this project IDE on exchange? It looks very promising. I wouldn't look at new projects right now, man. It's the wrong time to look at anything right now until we have confirmation of a continuation of a bull market. Right now we have a bear market rally, which may turn into a bull market. Not the right time to look at these projects. I'd rather buy higher, if that makes sense, because you still be early. If that makes sense. Asonare, don't troll Larry. He's calling the other person a troll. Terry's calling them. Don't waste your energy on that, Malagis. No, I do, because I want people to hear this shit as well. I want to hear, because I answered him in a tough way. But at the same time, I gave him some advice and some construction. He might think to himself, you know what? Maybe I was a bit premature commenting what I commented. Maybe I should watch the video. Oh, look, he did say that. Maybe next time I shouldn't be too quick to judge, so I'm not going to stay poor. You know, not because of me specifically, he's going to stay poor because of me, because that mindset, if he doesn't shift it, it's going to fuck him in other parts of his life, right? So I try to help people in my own unique way, maybe, but I try to help people not be stupid. Right? So it's not that I'm taking it personally or anything like that. I'm just trying to help out as much as I can, even if it's a bit tough, in a tough love, so to speak, right? CXTR from London. I was actually born in London, man. Enfield, believe it or not. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks for protecting us. I do my best. I always do my best, Harry. And I thank you. And I thank everyone for subscribing to this channel. I really do. Listen, for those of you who follow me, we've been through a lot. I mean, in the inception of this channel, I fought cancer 3 times. Called the bottom while I was fighting cancer at 15.6K before I got there. And tried to live stream while literally, I was making calls from in hospital. like for those of you still here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I mean, we've been through a lot. We've been through bull markets, bear markets, shit. A lot of stuff, man. And thank you for still being here. What's up, California? Yeah, no problem. No, I get it. I could also ignore him as well. If I had enough people asking questions, maybe I would have. It depends. But I still want to help somebody. So maybe I would have been a bit more to the point with it and not so rude. I don't know. We'll see. Or we won't see. Anywho, any more questions, please put it in the chat. For those of you that are just joining, I did challenge in a respectful way, which I said multiple times in the video and in the live stream, Rand's views, not because I have anything against him. I just want to give my opinion, and it's not a fucking beef, fuck's sake, just because you disagree with somebody. Because that would be a funny way of having beef with someone, right? I never walked up to someone in the street with beef. I mean, yo, man, I really respect you. Man, I love you. No. Like, if you have beef with somebody, you have beef with somebody. You don't sit there making disclaimers. For fuck's sake. Why the sardines diet? What a great question. Okay, so I'll tell you why. So I used to do, a long time ago, intermittent fasting. As a matter of fact, I did intermittent fasting before it was cool. When I used to bodybuild, when everybody was saying you're going to lose all your muscle if you do this, you're going to go to shit. Anyway, I did it back in like years and years ago, all right? Probably around the same time as the Hodge twins, if you've ever heard about them. They used to do intermittent fasting. And I noticed I was gaining muscle, losing weight, and also it helped my body fix itself. So I used to go a day with no food, or a window of eating only 4 hours a day, sometimes even 2 hours a day, all the calories I was supposed to eat, but within that window. And it did help me a lot. I had six-pack abs. That was before I got sick, by the way, and everything. So I did that. Now, lately, I started working out again and dieting again, but ever since Christmas, when I said I'm going to start again after Christmas, I never started again. And I've been having difficulties, A, doing intermittent fasting, B, eating shit, because I keep on eating shit and saying I'm going to go, don't die tomorrow, Monday, whatever, and C, in gym. And because I'm an extreme person, I either do something on an extreme or not, including gym, diet, and so on. I'm either going to do intermittent fasting for a couple of days and reset and do it properly, or I'm not going to do anything at all. That's what I'm like. As a person, I don't know why. I'm just like that. So I read, or I saw a couple of videos talking about having the benefits of a fasting state, or fasting, all the health benefits, inflammation, and so on, while you only eat sardines. So essentially, it gives you the same effect of fasting, maybe not certain parts of it, but because it puts up your omega-3s to the top here, but you still have the benefits of fasting, you still lose weight, you still get unlock your brain fog, and your brain fog goes away, but at the same time, you're not as hungry, and it's easier to follow. So I'm doing that, and essentially you could eat sardines for breakfast, which I'm not. I'm still having a window open. But essentially, I'm doing it so that when I want to eat, I know I can only eat sardines, and because of the extremity of it, I can actually follow it and actually get back into it. So I'm doing it as a reset, so to speak. Plus the benefits, once you stop, they say it carries on for a week or so. So I'm just giving it a try to see how it goes, if that makes sense. Thoughts on chip, because Robinhood listed it last week. I'm not looking at this. It's AI, never heard of it. It's too new to do. Okay, so if you're going to do technical analysis on the coin, this is my thing, I do technical analysis, you cannot do technical analysis on new coins because there's no price history. So there's nothing I can tell you that you don't know more than me. If you do your own research and you follow my videos to do on your own research, there's nothing more I can tell you on it. I know that sounds weird, but I can't help you there because I'm a TA guy. And if there's no price history, I can't show you the TA on it. But what I can tell you is be very careful for new coins right now and listings and so on, especially in bear markets. Just I don't even bother. I'd rather look for Bitcoin and big boys, which make more sense. So even if it goes down, I'll know they'll come back and probably give me profits in the long run, okay? That's just the only thing I'm gonna tell you for that right now. Yeah, sardines are recommended by Dr. Eric Berg, who was great health videos. I think I saw some of his videos as well, Henry. I think I did. Terry says, did you send Ran an email or Banter to see if they replied to your ATA? No, I didn't. I made a video. If they want to watch it, they'll see it. It says challenging crypto Banter on it. It's fine. It's not that serious for me to send an email and be like, no, I disagree with you. No, it's just an opinion, man. It's just my opinion. And hopefully get some views from it for having crypto Banter in the title, to be quite honest with you. That's about it. And maybe getting a little bit of a new audience. Again, there's nothing against Ran. I mean, I did the same thing for Ivan on Tech not too long ago, and people thought I was attacking him, and I had to rewrite my title and shit because people thought, people don't like listening to the words in the video. They just like going off the title. And it just amazes me. And it's probably the same way they invest. They see a meme coin or see some shit coming out on an exchange and just go all in on it and assume it's going to do well. That's why they get wrecked. Same thing with videos, right? Sardines in water, buy a better brand. No, I do sardines in olive oil just because the olive oil also brings benefits. Plus, they usually have better. I wouldn't do like any other oil. And water I could do as well, but olive oil gives a little bit of a taste, right? But what I might do, I might buy the sardines in water and put them in a plate and then add my own olive oil because I have much better olive oil because I'm Greek, obviously. But yeah. And I actually like sardines. Keto is good for you. Yeah, I do keto with IF. I did keto before it was called keto, believe it or not, because I was doing the paleo diet and I was doing IF, intermittent fasting, at the same time. So I was doing keto without even knowing I was doing keto, if that makes sense. Dr. Eric Berg is a Scientologist. Don't trust him. No, okay, fine, but like so is Grant Cardone, right? But I like Grant Cardone. Terry says intermittent fasting with olive oil is good also. Thank you. Surprisingly, it boosts. Yeah, so a lot of people even have like a spoon of olive oil instead of MCT oil, which I also use MCT oil, by the way. I'm in the sniper trading group. If you want ultra, no, it's I don't want to tell anybody to do anything. Like if you think it's interesting and you want people's opinions, fine. But I don't want to. I don't. Again, I'm not trying to take customers or anything like that. I actually said that sniper is actually good at TA in the video that I made. So I think he's actually very good at what he does. Henry says actually he has great advice. Almost every pain I get, I watch. Yeah, he does. Yeah, so yeah, Dr. Eric is. So yeah, they have good advice. So it depends. Like there's some people that you know, they could give good advice, and you know, you wouldn't expect it. Maybe they're Scientologists. Maybe they're black. just kidding. But you know what I mean. I got a little Andrew Tate there for a second. But yeah. We was looking at Matthew C. Whatever on YouTube. Have you checked him? No, I haven't. On his under 60K Bitcoin. Well, I don't know, Stelios, but or Nikos, I called 60K to buy at 60K level when we were just broke under 74K. I said buy 60K, and we bought the bounce at 62K. So I don't know. I'd rather listen to me. If that makes sense. By the way, after this video ends, do me a favor. If you see the hype button on any of my videos, usually it happens after you push the like button. Please click it. I would really appreciate it. A like and a hype, or one of them, just to support me. If you want to know how to support me, that's how, right? I would really appreciate it. No, intermittent fast. So I'll say this because I've done a lot. Let me show you guys something real quick. You probably don't know this. Let me show you real quick. Because I was really healthy. I very rarely got sick until I got cancer. But I very rarely got sick. And I used to train a lot. Kickboxing, boxing, gym, and so on. And a lot of people don't know this about me, right? I used to train a lot, and I was first at a lot of stuff, right? I used to do, I was beyond, before my time, so to speak, on a lot of stuff. Especially when it came to marketing, I was in a lot of marketing for business industries and so on. But I was really into exercising, health, and so on. And when I did intermittent fasting, I had the best body I had. Both bulk-wise, cut-wise, even more than when I tried steroids, which I didn't do for long, granted, but still, I was in the best shape of my life. So this, right here, was me, not at my top peak, but still, this was me on intermittent fasting, right? This was me at the gym. And then you could see pictures of me. This is my Instagram, by the way. It's at MCPaulD. We've gone back quite a bit. Let me see if I can find some other pictures. This is when I had cancer, by the way. So I look like shit. But yeah, if you go back to my MC days, this is me at 104 kilos. 104 kilos and I had abs. I'm 130 now, 127. But imagine what I was like back then. Right? This was intermittent fasting. This was when I was intermittent fasting. Right here. Right? And I was an artist back then. See, this is what I was doing, one meal a day. This is my one meal. I had more after this. But yeah, this is my fridge back in the day. I used to do meat. I used to do a lot of meat. So I was doing a lot of shit before a lot of people. Not the first, obviously, but I was doing a lot of shit before a lot of people. And yeah, you can check out my Instagram and go back if you want and see. This is when I thought eating raw salmon was healthy, which it was, but just not normal salmon. It's the worst thing you can possibly eat. If you ever eat raw salmon, especially, but even salmon, make sure it's wild caught. This is not wild caught. Big mistake. So I made a lot of mistakes as well. But yeah, you could see what I was like. I had a lot of girls. I used to go out with a lot of girls too, and then I got cancer. But I had more pictures, but I deleted a lot from my MC days and so on, and my sales days and books I've written and places I lived and crypto and this and that and so on. And if you want to find me, if you want to follow me and see dog pics and the good old days, here it is, MC Paul D. You'll find me as MC Paul D. Paul Democracy of the Crypto Factor, right? And you can see my life pics, so on, what I do. Yeah, shit like that, if you're interested. I've never seen the hype button. I've only seen it one time during Julia I don't know what's going on with that. Missing the wasabi with the salmon. Wasabi's crazy, dude. Like I've had it a couple of times. It's not my favorite, but I don't have a problem eating it. I'm seeing my views drop as soon as I started talking about diet, but it doesn't matter. These are live streams. We can talk about whatever you guys want. As long as you're asking questions, I'll be answering them. So go ahead. If you have any more questions, go ahead, put them in the chat. If not, I'll get ready to go to the movies with my salmon breath, which my girlfriend made sure I understood and knew and told me to go far, far away from her. All right, so I'm not seeing any more questions. So please check out the links in the description down below. The video in the description down below. Might as well look at the links as well. Again, check out my views on the video I called out, so to speak. And thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.